Why are Blacks, folks that look like you and I, having such a hard time getting a mortgage? What's behind these numbers, Shantae?
I'll explain it as quickly and as simple as I possibly can. We are not the low hanging fruit. It is sometimes more complex to give us loans. So on top of discrimination, on top of, the top five banks continuously being fined for the discrimination, and they are a large cause of these denials. We're not a low hanging fruit. Sometimes we come with credit things that need to be adjusted for us. We typically are more likely to get short-term loans than we are to put our money in banks. We typically use Cash App and all these different opportunity, ways to transfer money to get paid. Those are all non-traditional ways. And so one of the issues is they don't understand our culture and how we bank and how we need that additional assistance. If it's an automatic, no, it's going to be difficult, they don't want to deal with us. They're more likely to deny our application than to work to get us there.
So, Shantae, are you saying that mortgage companies and lenders should possibly start looking at non-traditional credit lines?
I think that as buyers, Black buyers, we should start to look for non-traditional banks.
Mm.
For example, we've seen the numbers, right? People or banks like Wells Fargo, they're not in a mortgage business. They are in the banking business, and they extend the courtesy of mortgages to their bank, to the people who bank with them. But they're not in the business of mortgages. So the issue that we have for Black people is we're so used to being denied, one denial and we're done. But what we have to understand is, when it comes to loans, this bank might say no because the people who purchased their loans have these criterias. But you could then take and go to another bank, and that bank will tell you yes because the people who buy their loans have these criterias that are more friendly to minorities and how our credit works, how our finances work. So the issue we have is we take that one no and then we keep it as a no and we don't continue to do our research.
All right, you mentioned there were other factors that were also contributing to Blacks being denied mortgages. Is it just financial literacy, or you also kind of alluded to this, or is it systemic racism ultimately?
It first starts with systemic racism, and then it goes to financial literacy, lack of down payment, and a lot of banks, especially bigger banks, do not deal with down payment assistance. So if you come in and you don't have your 3.5% or 10%, you're denied because you don't have it. But technically, there are opportunities out there like bonds and grants that you could use for that, but those banks don't want to deal with it because it's a little more work.
How pervasive is lending discrimination? Because it's like we talk about this every year, and now we're at a point where I believe Black home ownership is down from 50 years ago. It's the worst it's ever been, and it's 2022.
Yes. Black home ownership is at 44.1%. That is lower than it was prior to when they helped us out and gave us the Fair Housing Act and the civil rights and all these other things they put in place to help us. It is lower now than before they helped us.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, well, speaking of that, right? Recently, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, he announced that he was suing several lending companies for redlining, also launching, its own unit to investigate discriminatory lending practices targeted at our communities. Is it time for lawmakers, in your opinion, Shantae, to step up and step in terms of creating policies that fit the times right now?
It's absolutely, and I would say one step forward, they need to create the policy to fix the one that they said they put in place to help us when it hindered us. So they need to get rid of those policies and come with a new set of policies that are for everyone, because those policies put in place was a band-aid to a longer issue that they have yet to address. We need change, systemic change, not another band-aid and another policy that helps someone get elected.
All right, there's so much to this conversation. I'm running out of time. So I want to talk to you about the braids. I know it's a little off
Thank you.
topic. This is
Yes.
new. The last time I saw you, you were flowy. So tell me about this journey you're on as a realtor.
In real estate, Black women, Black men are always told, do not put your picture on the card because if we can just prove to them that we're knowledgeable, then they can look past our color. And so Black women in particular are always told, don't be your natural self. Whitewash yourself as much as possible, flat iron, seem as less Black as you possibly can. And over the last year, I have determined that with my experience and what I bring to the table, you get me in all my Blackness and all my melanin and all my crown. And so I am wearing my crown all the way down. And I am okay with that. This is a journey that I'm on. I hope other Black females in real estate will take this journey with me. This is who we are, and this is who they get.
Yes,
And
and
that is it.
I'm just going to add, because you said all the way down, but she didn't say all the way down where, all the way down past her butt, might I add.
All the
So
way down here, and it will continue to just be this way, and I'll be more successful this year than I was last year, and I'm putting it out there.
boop. On that note, Shanta Patton celebrating her 18th year as a real estate agent. It was a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, hon. Thank you.